Hello everybody, Jordan here. Welcome back to another LEGO City update vlog. The changes of the city have not been made yet. Actually, the city is one giant mess, and so is my LEGO room. It's not too bad. But today we're going to be working on making a bunch of different changes here to the LEGO City, and we're also going to be cleaning it up throughout this vlog video. I don't even really know what we're going to be doing, but I do know that there is a bunch of stuff that has to be changed and cleaned up, so I figured, you know what? Let's make that happen today. So we're going to get started, I think, over here in this section of the city, starting in the boatyard. There's some changes that we have to make, and then transitioning into the residential buildings. Once we're done making our changes here, we're going to transition into the downtown core and start to clean up some of this mess up over here as well, and shift some of these buildings around, and also make some changes to our train track, and maybe even move this tripod off the table because it looks sort of out of place. Got lots of work to do today, so let's get started because I'm really excited to get these changes done. So as always, when doing LEGO room changes and LEGO City updates, the first thing that I needed to do was clean. There was a bunch of stuff on the table here that didn't belong. There was a bunch of parts underneath the table. Not that there still isn't. There's still lots of parts under there. But that needed to be sorted in bins. That needed to be stowed away or brought out of here, boxes that need to be thrown away, etc. Now we're going to start working on cleaning up the actual city and making some changes to these areas. The first changes to the LEGO City that we made today is I added the ramps that go over top of the train track there so that vehicles can now safely access the train yard. I also redid some of the road plates over here and moved the gas station into place. And I think it's a really good fit for the gas station because it's in the industrial area now. I've decided that if and when I get the haunted house, it'll probably go here or here, and the graveyard will be in the same realm as the haunted house. I believe the haunted house sits on a 32 by 32 base plate, and this is a base plate and a half here. So we can use the space that's given to us, the extra space, to help blend in the sort of haunted scene here at the haunted house in the graveyard. And I think that's going to look fantastic. Either give some spacing between the buildings or not quite too sure yet. We also started working on this little cliff edge here right beside the boat ramp. And what I've done is just use some extra pieces that I have in the interior of that so that they are support beams for the topping that we're going to put on. I've also moved over the boat ramp. When we first started, it was offset over here. Due to the recent changes, I had to move it over here, and now it lines up with the road. So now we're putting some work into this area, and we still got lots of other things that are going to be transpiring here in this LEGO City Update vlog. I changed this up a little bit here. I actually increased the width of our rock edge here, and now it goes right up against the boat ramp. Eventually, I'm going to add path here, also some bushes, increase the complexity of our rock edge, and we're going to put a lighthouse on the end of it. Now I'm going to make some changes to this section of the LEGO City, and actually all of these skyscrapers are going to be shuffled around and changing positions. The first building that's moving is the Avengers Tower. That's where it shall sit. No, I'm just kidding. All of them are moving, except for the hospital. But I have a new layout, which is going to open up some space for us here, and also make it look a little bit more cohesive. And it's just for the better, I think. The second building to move was actually Sig Tower, and we put it right where the Avengers Tower used to be. And that's going to be right next to a fountain here, and like a little sitting area and whatnot, nicely tiled, looking beautiful. And that's right before the entrance to the amusement park, where you can see one of the stanchions right there. That's going to be the entrance to Bricksie Land. I actually have all the orders placed to create the Bricksie Land entrance, as we placed a bunch of Bricklink orders the other day. And of course, that's right next to platform 9 3/4 and also the restaurant. Pretty soon this area is going to look absolutely amazing. And actually, I do prefer Sig Tower there because it more so blocks that manhole or access hole. Because you'll note that the Avengers Tower has a couple studs on either side of space so that you can actually see more in there. But when we put the entrance to the amusement park here, it'll really cover up that access hole a lot better than the Avengers Tower did. Now we're going to make one other move here. We're going to move the big office tower, and we're going to put that where the Hulk is there so angry all the time. Hey, would you look at that combo of buildings? That looks pretty awesome. Hospital next to Office Tower, next to Sig Tower. That looks good from afar too. It's beautiful. And I bet you can already guess where the old Avengers Tower is going to go, and it's actually the perfect spot for it, and I'll tell you why. In this location, it actually has the most breathing room. And you know what? It's actually better than I originally thought. Because you'll see that there's a 16 stud gap right there where that brick separator is. Originally, I thought I'd have to have the Avengers Tower centered in that area there to give it the breathing room that it needs. But now I realize it lines up perfectly with the hospital, because the hospital is like an L shape and it has enough space to breathe right there. So it actually opens up two 16 by 32 stud base plates right there. And there's something that we can do with that space. And I think it's a parking lot for the park, the beach, other areas. And I think it just works out perfectly better than I originally anticipated. There's one big change that I have to make to the Avengers Tower. You'll notice that there's no Avengers A on this side. So I've got to get the parts and pieces to make an Avengers A, or simply move this Avengers A to the other side. I think I'll leave that for future Jordan to solve that problem. Now we've got to locate some 16 by 32 base plates to fill in these areas here. And you can also see that these changes removed Sig Tower from the park. That looked really awkward. And now we have some open space in the park right there. And there's definitely some modifications that we have to make. Our dirt road no longer lines up with the road. And I have to change that so that it does. That's option number one. Or option number two is I cut a straight road in half. And we put it right there where the ambulance is. And that'll slide that forward. However, that removes our opportunity to have a parking space. So I don't think I'm going to do that. Actually, thinking of it now, I think I have the perfect base plate for right here. Let me check one moment. I got two of these in a local classifieds buy. These are weird. 32 studs by 24 studs. And check it out. I think that gap right there is a 24 stud gap. So I might be able to just plop this down, tile this off so it looks like a parking lot. And then, I don't know what we'll do beside Avengers Tower. I'm not sure what we'll do there, but obviously we have to fence off the amusement park as well from the general public, but that might be just perfect for that spot. Yes, so that base plate does work perfectly there. And you can see we're left with a 16 by 32 stud open base plate on the side of Avengers Tower. I've also changed the turn road that used to be there, and I put a T. So I'll probably be able to put maybe one or two parking spots there, probably two. And then I have to render our dirt road here so that it just turns like that there. So that'll be the entrance to the campground. Probably even stick another parking lot there, or maybe like a little bench or something like that, a little benched area, or just fill that in with trees nicely. Now you'll see an open 32 by 32 base plate right there. I'm out of green base plates. But remember I said that I was going to make some changes to the train track? I still plan on doing that. And what I'm going to do is essentially remove all of this ballast line right here. Because this ballast line is sitting on plates, however, it's underneath the Ninjago platform. So technically, when we put our rock edge here, you're not going to see under there. So this could all technically be standard track. It doesn't have to be ballast because you won't be able to see it, especially once we get our rock edge going all along here. So what I'm going to do is salvage some of those base plates in which that train track is sitting on by removing the ballast line and replacing it with standard RC track that's not ballast, giving me base plates so that they can be worked around and I can fill that space there. And as you can see, our park is going to be a lot bigger now. There's space for more campers, more trees, more bushes, more activity, more park scenes, and maybe a little bit of heritage. And that heritage is right here. This is the Blacksmith. And I think it will look beautiful right beside all of this campground area, the nice vintage dirt road, and also the treehouse. think it's going to look good somewhere in this area. Where exactly, I'm not too sure. After removing all the base plates from under here, I was able to extract one standard size base plate for that hole there. Also fill this in here. I actually need more to fill this in because anything that's going to be visible needs to have base plate grounding, but anything that's underneath is not a huge concern. So I'll have to try and track down a way to get more half base plates, and I'm sure I'll be able to do that just by swapping stuff up here in the Lego City or acquiring more 32 by 32 base plates and finding areas where I can acquire 16 by 32s. And you can see I've put the Blacksmith very roughly there. Definitely not what we're going to go for, but I've got to move that dirt road, and that's going to take quite some time, and I've got to think about exactly how I want this area positioned, and I've got to sleep on it. It looks rough. There's trees all over the place, a rogue cell phone, and rogue vehicles everywhere. I don't know. And I'm going to tell you why I'm selling it short right now. Because today, 12 o'clock, I started building the Boone alternate build for the Coliseum. And we built this for 5 hours. And I scheduled another live stream in an hour and a half from now at 8 o'clock p.m. to continue working on that because I'm absolutely hyped. And I'm sort of lacking Lego City time now. I was planning on getting all of this stuff done today and making it look beautiful, but I guess that's going to come another day. However, we did still get lots done. We moved the skyscrapers and all that over, and this looks way better than it did. We've got a pretty good game plan for here, but I've got to figure out exactly how to position all this and position all these trees and the blacksmith in the tree and get that dirt road moved. And then over here, once we get that haunted house, which is on order now, we're going to place that here beside the graveyard. That's going to look good. Eventually, we're going to add a lighthouse to our rock edge here. I've got to put some traffic control lights on either side of our ramps there, but those are very positive changes as well. And I just can't get over these skyscrapers. It just looks fantastic, just like that there. There's a lot of other stuff that I have to do here in the city, as we all know. I have to place all of the minifigures. And recently I ordered over 174, I think it was, of these right here. Those are the 2x2 tiles with the jumper. So to be able to pose minifigures all throughout the city when we do populate the city. There's a few other things that I have to do in the Lego room. I've got to clean that up. You can see there's some bushes and some trees and some minifigures in the Hulkbuster and vehicles that have to be positioned in the city. Also, there's some construction vehicles there. And I do plan on doing that soon. Except, as you know, I'm sure you're watching the live stream when I was building the Boone Castle. I didn't leave myself much time to get these Lego City changes done. But I'm sure in the next time you see the city, it's gonna look great and pretty much be ready for a population. We're gonna clean this up and get it ready for population soon. Hope you guys like this Lego City update vlog style video. If you guys want to see more vlogs, of course, check out Beyond Bricksie. You get daily vlogs on that channel. I know all viewers like vlogs, and I really like making vlogs, and I don't want to alienate this channel from vlogs, but whenever we do vlogs on this channel, they'll be 100% about Lego. There'll be none of my ordinary life, where Beyond Bricksie has some of my ordinary life in it, mixed in with it. You guys, as always, remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out here in the near future. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.